Without further ado, I would like to introduce our guest speaker for the Choose Confidence workshop, Amanda Nachman. She is the CEO of College Magazine. She is a TEDx speaker, and she is the best-selling author of #Qualified. You are more impressive than you realize. She is also the host of Find Your Passion Career, and she's appeared on Good Morning America, Cheddar TV, and ABC 10. Her advice has been featured in Business Insider, NBC News, Today, and Market Watch. Let's give her a big welcome round of applause.
Thank you so much, Tina.
You're welcome.
How do you like to spend a beautiful, sunny Saturday afternoon? I'm going to click this button. It's going to change the PowerPoint. Ready? I feel confident about this. Okay, there we go. Well, the last beautiful Saturday afternoon that we had, I was really looking forward to going to the beach, getting in the water, and surfing. But as soon as I hopped on my board, I got stung by a stingray. And I spent that entire Saturday sitting at the lifeguard station in excruciating pain from the venom. So why am I telling you this scary stingray story? You're here to choose confidence. Well, the stingray was a reminder that there are things outside of our control. And I think we've all had this reminder lately with our education, with the workplace, with our careers. But there are some things within our control, and that's choosing confidence. Wouldn't it be nice to surf the waves of our career with ease? But instead, when we get into the water, there's this stingray. We couldn't have predicted it. One day it's a stingray, the next day it's a jellyfish. It's this thing that gets in our way, and it keeps us back from the water. It whispers to us, who are you to get that job? Who are you to get that promotion? This feeling robs us of a career that we deserve because we miss out on opportunities and we miss out on amazing connections with incredible, helpful people, all because we don't feel worthy. I want you to think about a time where you felt confident. Not a time where you had to choose confidence, but a time where you just were. What did that look like? Maybe you were leading a team meeting. Maybe you were working on a project and you were like in the zone. Or a friend came to you to solve a difficult problem and you knew exactly how to solve it. Take a moment and think about this time when you felt confident and write it down. This is a workshop, so grab your laptop, grab your notebook, grab your phone, and take a moment to think about that time where you felt confident. And write that moment down. What did it look like? What did it feel like? It doesn't have to be school related, doesn't have to be work related. It could be something that happened in your everyday life with your friends, with your family, a moment where you felt great. You were in the zone. You were crushing it. All right, once you've got your story down, look to the person next to you and share it with them. And if you're live streaming, text a friend. Okay, who's feeling brave, who's feeling confident, and wants to share their story? Any brave souls that would like to come up and share your story? Yeah. Yeah, let's cheer her on. She's choosing confidence. Let's go.
Feeling confident. Okay. Yesterday on the way home, I got a text message from one of my basketball players who just finished her season. And she sent a photo and she got MVP.
That's amazing. How did it feel to share that story?
Oh, what did you say?
How did it feel to share that story?
Oh, it felt great. I'm happy. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Who else would like to share a story? Were they a moment where they felt confident? Yeah. One more brave soul. Thanks.
Hi everyone, my name is Courtney. So I'm part of an organization here on campus called Girl Gains. I don't know if anyone is part of it, but I work and I mentor some of the beginner lifters and teach them how to use the equipment, proper nutrition to fuel their workouts. And so the other day I went into the ARC over here and was just teaching them how to use some of the equipment. And I just felt really confident. I felt like they were listening to me and really taking what I had to say and going to use it in the future.
Yeah, thanks so much for sharing that story. Let's give her a round of applause. What amazing stories. How do we bottle up this feeling so that we have it whenever we don't feel confident? Like, I bet we don't feel confident when we're surfing job boards and we're looking at descriptions that barely describe a human being, right? We see that bullet point of something that we haven't done before and we're like, absolutely not. I can't do this. It's crippling. According to a report by Hewlett Packard, women feel that they need to meet 100% of job criteria before even applying. Every bullet point on that job description. And LinkedIn's data supports this stat. Women are applying to 20% fewer jobs than men, which means we each see qualified differently. When I was in college, I wanted to be an editor for a magazine. So I applied to 3 magazine internships. And I was rejected from all 3. Clearly, the magazine professionals were trying to let me know that I just wasn't qualified. So I added in supporting evidence. I wasn't even a journalism major. How dare I apply for those internships? And then I amplified it. I'm 21 and I'm a total failure already. Ever felt like this before? Oh yeah, I see some nods. Well, instead of giving up, I made courageous connections. I unleashed my strengths and I leveled up my story. And when you do these 3 things, you too can choose confidence and change the game. Let's get started. The first step I took was I sparked a courageous connection. So after those rejections, I reached out to an assistant editor at Washingtonian magazine, and I asked her for an informational interview. I wanted to learn how she got to where she was in her career, because this was the dream career that I had for myself. And what do you know? She said yes. This was the magazine that had rejected me, which just goes to show that that rejection wasn't personal. In that 15-minute informational interview, I learned that she got her start by writing for her campus magazine, and I hadn't even thought to do that. So the very next week, I went to a meeting for my campus magazine. It was called Unwind Magazine at Maryland, and I got my first article assignment to write a Ben Folds concert review. And I can't even begin to tell you how exciting it was to see my byline, to see my name in print. And I used that magazine clip to apply for another internship at Washington Spaces magazine, and I got the job. How many courageous connections have you made? How many people do you know in your dream career? 1, 5, 10? Raise your hand if you know at least one person who's doing work that you think is cool and you've connected with them. One person. Nice. Okay, this makes me so happy to see. Now, keep your hand up if it's 5. You know 5 people. You've reached out to 5 people. We lost a lot of hands there. I'm not even going to say 10. I was going to say 10, but now I'm a little concerned. If you said 1 or 5, even if you said 10, and Look, it takes dozens of courageous connections to make your dreams come true. I just want you to know that you're not alone. Most of us set out to chase our dreams all by ourselves. Look, I know that solo travel is where it's at, but your career journey is not a solo journey. There are people out there who have the blueprint. They've been there before in your shoes, and they know how to get to where you want to go. And believe it or not, they want to help you. Think about it. If someone looked out to you and wanted your time and advice, wouldn't you be willing to give it? These courageous connections will give you the confidence that you need to pursue your dream career. So I told you that I made these connections. Well, I'm going to tell you how you can do it too. So what you're going to do is you're going to hop on LinkedIn and you're going to look for someone who's doing something interesting, cool, something that you think is fun, something where you're like, hey, I'd like to do that job too one day. And you're going to find this person, maybe not the CEO or the director, but someone that's just 1 or 2 steps ahead. They're going to be a little bit more accessible, and they're going to be so honored to get a message from you because they're not getting these messages every day. And you're going to let them know that you would love to hear about their career journey. And then you're going to make the ask, a 15-minute informational interview. 15 years from the day I asked for an informational interview with the editorial assistant at Washingtonian, I am still sending these messages. This is one that I sent recently to New York Times bestselling author Lindsay Pollock, and I asked her to be a guest on my podcast, and she said yes. So, whoops, okay, we're going back. I challenge you to make a courageous connection every day for the next 30 days. I call it a DM a day, and watch your confidence skyrocket. Now, I had a TikTok. Yes, I'm on TikTok. I know. I'm there, okay? I made a TikTok, all right? And I made one about a DM a day, and it took off, went viral. And I got a flood of messages being like, I want to do it. I want to send a DM a day. I know you all are like about to jump out of your seats. You're like, me too. I really want to do this. I cannot wait, right? I can see it on your faces. It's like, it's only noon, but I'm going to do this. Yeah, so everyone's like, but what do I write? What do I write? I get it. It's nerve-wracking to figure out, like, what are you going to say to this person? But I got you. Got you. I put together a perfect script. And stay tuned to the end. I will let you know how I can send this to you so you can do one of my favorite things, copy, cut, paste it. Who likes a good copy, cut, paste? Yeah. Saves time. Saves time. So why do I call this the perfect script? I call it the perfect script because it works. When you send this message, people are honored to hear that you would love to learn about their career journey. It's short, it gets to the point, and people are likely to get back to you. This works. Now for the hardest part. I cannot help you with this next part, okay? You must hit send. Up. I already moved ahead, but we're still on send. Okay, there we go. You must hit send. I know, an entire step dedicated to this dreadful moment. Who here writes an email and then reads it like 10 times before hitting send? Okay, that's a lot of hands. We can all relate, right? Hitting send is terrifying. But that's why I call it a courageous connection, because it takes courage. No one's forcing you to send this message. You have to muster up the courage to hit the send button. But now that you are willing to do the thing that most people are simply unwilling to do, you are now ready to unleash your strengths. I want to tell you about Sarah. Sarah was a VP at JP Morgan, but she knew it wasn't what she wanted to do. She wanted to pursue a new career in film, but she could only point to her, when it came to pointing to her experience, she could only point to the fact that she loved making videos when she was growing up. And so when she was applying for film opportunities, she wasn't hearing back. Now, should Sarah give up, or should she choose confidence? Raise your hand if you think Sarah should just give up on those film dreams. Okay, now raise your hand if you think Sarah should choose confidence. Yeah, look, I'm not a lawyer, but that was a leading question. Okay, of course, Sarah should choose confidence, right? How silly would that be if you were like, yeah, Sarah should give up. She should give up her dreams. Too bad, Sarah. Too bad. No way. But it's easy to tell someone else to choose confidence. When it comes to our dreams and our choices and these big decisions, it's a lot harder. Sarah knew that she needed to unleash her strengths. She was creative, she was analytical, and she was hardworking. So she took to Craigslist and she looked for anyone that needed help on a small film project or they needed a production assistant for the day. And she started to unleash her strengths in small ways. And these moments where she was working and gaining experience and building her qualified, these changed the game and doors started to open. Sarah said, every person that I met wanted to introduce me to the next person. If you're willing to show up, work really hard, and be clear about where it is you're trying to go, people want to help you get there. Sarah got her first job working for Silver Docs, a film festival, and many more to follow. Up to today, she's now the Senior VP of Today Tix. Don't wait for permission. You can start unleashing your strengths too. You can join clubs and organizations and start building up your experience and you're qualified. You can volunteer. You can side hustle. You can intern. You can start your own business. You can go on meetup.com and I bet you that you can find an organization out there that's meeting that aligns with your interests, strengths, and values where you can start unleashing your strengths and building your story. Now, I want you to think about your BFF. Just making sure that's up there. How would you describe your best friend? Anybody want to share? Think about your best friend. Maybe they're in here in the room right now. Maybe they're sitting next to you in the live stream. How would you describe them? Anyone want to share? Yeah.
Kind, beautiful, compassionate.
I heard kind, beautiful, compassionate. Okay. She loves her best friend, right? Anybody else here have some kind words to say about their best friend? Some flattering adjectives? Yeah. Funny, caring, outgoing. It's pretty easy to think about all these ways our best friend is just absolutely awesome. Now, what if I asked you to describe you? For some of us, it doesn't always come as easy to think about all the ways in which we're awesome. So after this workshop, ask your BFF. Ask them about your strengths. You might discover a strength that you hadn't considered. But right here in this room, during this workshop, we are going to come up with your strengths. And I want to see if you can get to 20. So I'm going to give you a minute to write down your strengths. I know you're thinking 20, really, Amanda? That's a lot. I don't know. But here's the thing. Anytime you face that sting that you couldn't have predicted, you want to look back at this list. And this list is going to give you the confidence you need to keep going. So take a moment as I walk you through it to write down your strengths. Think about the times where you thrive. Do you thrive in the spotlight? Do you thrive helping others? Showing up on time? Planning events? Are you ambitious, dedicated, a planner, a team player? I have some up here to help you get started. And I want you to write down your strengths. I can see there's like a good flow going here. I'm loving it. Good vibes here. All right, once you have a couple of strengths down, turn to the person next to you and share them. I just heard vertically challenged, and I have to say, I truly appreciate that strength. Own it. Own that strength. If someone's too many chairs away, just move in closer. Share your strengths. And if you're on the live stream, share your strengths in the chat. Now, who here is feeling confident and wants to stand up and claim their strengths? That's right, stand up and claim your strengths. I will get started. I'm Amanda. I'm great at making new connections with people I don't know, and I'm super organized. Who else? Who's gonna, thank you. Oh, thank you, that felt good. Who else wants to claim their strengths? You got this. Yeah. I love how I was looking to the friend, and she's like, no, she's looking at you. Yep. She called you out.
I'm Yara, and I would say some of my strengths is also that I'm super organized and I have pretty strong work ethic.
Yeah, let's give it up. How did that feel?
Good.
Feels good. Who else wants to claim their strengths right here? This is your moment. This is your workshop. You showed up to choose confidence. Yeah. Awesome. Let's give it up. How did that feel? One more person. Who's feeling brave? Wants to claim their strengths? Yeah.
Hi, I'm Madeline. I said I was creative, detail-oriented, personable, motivated, and passionate.
Awesome. How did that feel to claim your strengths?
Really great.
Felt really good. Yeah. So now that you have unleashed your strengths, you've claimed your strengths, you are now more than ready to level up your story. Now, who here has heard this question before? The dreaded, tell me about yourself. Who here loves this question? Who here loathes this question? Yeah, it's a lot of hands. Yeah. Well, I want you to think about the last time someone asked you this question. It comes in many forms. It's like, what do you do? Or what are you planning to do with your degree? Or just the basic, tell me about yourself. Think about the last time someone asked you this question and think about what you said. Take a moment and write down that answer. I want to capture that exact answer that you used. What did you say? Maybe it came from a parent. What are you planning to do with your degree? Or that weird uncle who's always bothering you about what you're going to be doing in your future. Yeah, we all have that uncle. Or maybe it was a coworker or a mentor, someone that actually did care and was looking out for you. They wanted to know, what are you planning to do? Or what do you do? Take a moment and write this down. If you're on the live stream, let us know. What do you say when someone says, tell me about yourself? What's the thing that pops into your mind? Now, there are two ways I could answer this. The first story I might say is, I'm Amanda, and I'm the publisher of College Magazine. Another way I might tell this story is, I created and launched a magazine that would help students be successful in school. I had this big idea, and I went around with a mock-up of my magazine and sold ads to the local businesses, and was able to raise enough money to print the first 5,000 copies at my alma mater, the University of Maryland. Then I hustled like crazy, and I expanded to 14 campuses on the East Coast. Today, College Magazine reaches millions of readers nationwide. I've had the opportunity to work with national brands like Vitamin Water and Princeton Review. And the most rewarding part is working with student writers. I have a writer training program that helps aspiring journalists improve their writing skills and I love getting to see my students go off into their dream careers, many of which are at National Geographic, NBC, Us Weekly, USA Today, and more. I am passionate about helping students and young professionals choose confidence. Now, what did you notice about those two stories? What are some of the differences that you heard? I know, one's long, one's short. That's the obvious one. I'll get that one out of the way. What did you notice? Yeah.
I feel like the second story, I learned more about you and what drives you and motivates you.
Yeah, you learn about my motivation. Like, why am I doing these things? Why am I the publisher of College Magazine? Why did I want to make this magazine? You learn that in the second story. What else did you notice? Yeah. Yeah, the first story was just like a title. So how I'm defining myself by my title, but the second story is telling you all the work that went into it, all the actions that I took, the journey to achieving that role. What else? Anything else that you noticed? I mean, those were wildly different stories, right? Yeah. One more thing. Anything else that you noticed between the stories? Yeah.
It was overall just a lot more captivating, and I felt your passion.
Oh, thanks. So it was more captivating. People are drawn to that type of story, right? Where you're sharing the journey and you're sharing your why, and you're talking about the actions that you took, and you're sharing something you're passionate about. We lean into those stories. And especially when you're making a courageous connection, when people hear your story, your leveled up story, people are going to gravitate to your story. They're going to see a little bit of themselves in you, and they're going to want to help you succeed. So let's level up your story. Take a moment, look back at the one you wrote just a couple minutes ago, and let's level it up. Add in the action. Tell me the journey. Tell me your why. If you're a student here at SDSU, tell me your why. Why did you choose to be a student here at SDSU? Tell me why you chose your major. Tell me what you care about. Tell me why you're in a certain club. Tell me why you're going after a certain internship. What do you care about? What are your values? What are your interests? Tell me about how you unleashed your strengths. Tell me about the journey. Take a moment and let's level up your story right here, right now. And once you've leveled up your story, share it with the person next to you. It's okay if you're still writing, keep writing, go for it. This story that you're finally taking the chance to write and level up, this is a great one to have in your back pocket anytime someone asks you that dreadful question, tell me about yourself. Practice telling this story, practice it with your friends, and we're going to practice it right here in this room. This is how you choose confidence, by sharing your leveled up story. Okay, if you finish your story, share it with the person next to you. Okay. Yeah. Okay, who here, whose story got exponentially better in just those couple of minutes? I see some like hands down here. Come on, we're here to choose confidence. Whose story got better? It's still down here. Yeah. Okay, and who heard a really great story from the person next to them? Oh, now your hands are up high. Yeah, you probably heard an incredible leveled up story. Who would love to share the story that they heard? Anyone like to hear the story, share the story that they heard? I want to hear it. Who heard a great story? Yeah, stand up. Oh, and you can go to the mic. Yeah.
Oh, it's a little tall.
She's vertically challenged, but she's got this. There we go.
All right, this beautiful girl, Amanda. She's
Great name. I'm a little biased.
So she's a journalism major, but she's really interested in social media marketing. She works for Best Buddies, which is a great student organization on campus. So it's very inspiring. She also has a food account where she posts recipes and reviews San Diego restaurants, which we need the handle to follow. But yeah, she's just doing everything and anything.
Sounds like she's multi-passionate.
She is.
And she's very involved. And what inspired you to join Best Buddies?
I had an RA my freshman year, and she introduced me to the club, and I just fell in love with it at the first meeting.
Yeah. And what do you get to do there?
So I've been in the board for 3 years now, but right now I'm the vice president, and I just planned our first week-long spread the word to end the R word campaign, which was really fun.
Did you just hear that she like snuck in? Oh yeah, I'm vice president. Just no big deal. Let's hear that loud and clear. Vice president of this organization. That's a big deal. And how many people are involved?
About 80.
80 people. She's the vice president of an organization that has 80 people. Yeah. How did it feel to hear your leveled up story shared?
Really fun.
Yeah. And would you like to share the one you heard?
Yes. So the first one was, I'm a student, but then she leveled it up to, I'm a student studying marketing at San Diego State with a passion for marketing. She also wants to study abroad and get her master's in Italy, which I think is super fun.
Va bene. Okay.
Yeah.
And perché marketing?
It's just always been something that interests me, like the so I minor in psychology as well. So having
Did everyone hear the minoring in psych earlier? Did that just get left out? Oh, don't mind that minor that I'm doing. I bet you're working pretty hard on that minor, right?
Well, it's been done for 2 years.
Oh, okay. She's already finished the minor. No big deal. Okay, sorry, keep going.
Yeah, so just the psychology behind marketing and like kind of learning how consumer minds work like really interests me. So yeah, that's why I went with marketing. And then I want to get my MBA, but not yet. So in the future, and I really do want to get it abroad because I didn't have the chance to study abroad. So it'd be really cool to like go and get more education in a different country and like immerse myself in that culture too.
Okay, grazie. Let's give her a hand. Yeah. How many people would have leaned in if she told her first story? I'm a student. How many people felt themselves drawn to her story, though, when she leveled it up? Yeah, a lot of hands. Nice. All right, one more courageous pair. Who heard a great story? Yeah. Oh, I love that the hand just like shut up. We are feeling more confident in this room. I can feel it. Let's give her a hand. Let's give her a hand.
Hi everyone, my name is Hannah. This is Caesar. He told a very inspirational story. He is 32, getting his degree in business management. He informed us that he didn't feel after high school that that was it for him and he wasn't going to get his degree, but now he is here and he's working on a platform to help lower income individuals because he had a similar background and help bring them up into higher education.
Wow. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you. How did it feel to hear your story?
So I'm a student at San Diego State. I'm a transfer student. Took me a little over 10 years to get my associate's degree and finally make it here. So for me growing up, I grew up in a lower socioeconomic class, and university for me was not really realistic after high school. I always saw myself maybe working construction, factory work, somewhere doing like a dead-end job. And this wasn't realistic to me. It wasn't something that was pushed onto me over generations. And now that I'm here, I'm seeing so many doors open up, and I want to start this company. It's called Allied Nerd Industries, and the purpose of starting this company is to encourage and find ways to assist kids to reach higher level education.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing your story. How did it feel to share this story? Have you told it before?
Not so much.
Okay, so you're practicing it right here with a really supportive group, right? How did it feel to get that story out there?
I'm nervous.
Nervous? Okay. And
it feels good though.
Feels good?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you think that you might be ready to share this leveled up story moving forward?
Yeah, I definitely want to. I'm a little bit of an introvert, so trying to break that, get out of my comfort zone.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. Let's give him a hand.
Thank you.
Would you like to share your partner's story?
Yes.
Okay.
So Hannah is also a business major, and she's planning to finish her bachelor's and then pursue her master's degree in at an Ivy League school. So, and I think that was like impressive enough, and I'll let her.
This was a lot better of a story.
Well, let's not downplay your story just yet. Okay, so why do you want to pursue your master's?
It's always been a goal of mine to get it, and then kind of going to more events and stuff. I hear a lot of women speak, and it just kind of pushes me to want to get it. And I read a book in one of my entrepreneurship classes, and it was What I Wish I Knew When I Was 20, if anybody's read it. Really good
Look at
book.
that, she's plugging other books.
Yeah, sorry. Really good book, and that kind of started, and like the way she talked, it just talks. She was a professor at Stanford, and she just kind of talked about how she got to where she was, and she didn't necessarily get her degree in business, but now she's like a best-selling author, is a business professor at Stanford, and all this stuff. And it's like it was a very motivational way to get me to pursue stuff.
Cool. Thank you so much for sharing that story. So we learned that, what inspired you, and now I have so many more questions, right? Like I'm leaning in. Is anyone else leaning in? I'm like, ooh, tell me more about this entrepreneurship class. What brought you to there? But we don't have all the time right now, but I just want to say thank you so much for sharing your leveled up story. That rocked. So now that you have sparked courageous connections, well, you're about to, you've unleashed your strengths and you've leveled up your story right here in this room. You are now more than ready to choose confidence. Look, that stingray has got nothing on me, and it's got nothing on you. when you choose confidence. Thank you. I promised you my perfect script, so here's how you can get it, and that way you can do your favorite thing, copy, cut, paste. So you go to gettalk.at/qualified, and you get access to my free resources. That's my perfect script and my 30-day career challenge. Best of all, when you reply to this email, you will get access to me, and I want to cheer you on and be in your corner as you continue to choose confidence. Thank you so much. Do we want to do the Q&A? No time. We're at time. Okay. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.